God created the heavens and the earth. The waters brought forth life, and life expanded onto the land. In his own image, God made both man and woman.
And oh yeah, me too! Hi, I'm your DNA. You can call me Mr. DNA. Oh, of course. Also, Miss DNA. So sorry, Eve. What are you doing in my cell?
Just visiting.
Not sure how that works, but okay. Anyway, God was such a scientific wizard. In addition to all the spiritual and ethical contributions to our being, in all his wisdom, he created our being with, yes, what has just been identified and appreciated in the last few years, the human genome. About 25,000 genes. No. Not Levi genes. DNA genes like me. I'm part of that, what's it called? A genome? Do you know how powerful I am? Whoops, I mean we are. Mr. and Miss DNA. From the moment of conception, you know, when sperm penetrates the ovum, either naturally or perhaps in this era of gerontology, with the assistance of God, Viagra, Cialis, and nutraceuticals, Mr. and Miss DNA are on their mission. You know, we don't even have to think about our role or future. It's entirely pre-programmed, like a shuttle launch into space.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The scientists call this sequencing. I like to think of it as marching together in a cadence step, never missing a beat, fulfilling our programmed destiny. We feel our privilege and power, Miss DNA and I, every day as that embryo grows. Month by month, our expression of the future human's birth becomes more apparent. Destiny is in our membranes. Then it occurs, the wonder of birth. And now, our job is easy. Just sit back and enjoy that phenomenon I described as sequencing, following the pathway prescribed by our DNA directive. Who is that knocking on our cell membrane door? Answer, who are you? What's your name? And identify your intention.
Hey, not so fast, DNAs. You didn't create that baby. I did.
What? It has my DNA. Check.
This baby might have your DNA, but I tell it what it is and what it can become. Understand? If it was just left to you two strands, this kid would still be just a bunch of flippin' stem cells.
Who are you?
The name is Tag, but my friends call me Epigenome because I work above yous. You understand?
But I never heard of you.
Hey, what can I say? I've always been around, but the world's finally taken notice. You know, there's a whole new science named after me. I'm really important. It's called epigenomics. Look, I ain't a bad guy. I do a lot of good, you know? I just look out what's best for the big man, you know, this guy we're living in. Alright, who wants to go first? Who's ready for me to latch onto one of you? Ha!
Stop! Stop! I'll have no barnacles on me! Stop! Ah!
You ain't got a choice, buddy. I'm already all over both of yous.
Tag, I am completely confused, and I am sure you are frustrating Miss DNA as well. You must share with us some explanation of this preposterousness.
Hey, Mr. Gene, I'm not here to insult you, okay? I know you and the Miss have always thought your programs for the individual's future is fixed. Once that baby pops, boom, the future preordained. Well, not to disappoint you, but that's just simply not the case. Let me explain my role as an epigene. And please, forgive me, because you're going to find out that we have much more influence over you than you could have possibly ever imagined. As epigenes, we actually work in conjunction with you. But get this straight, We work over you. You are correct about your programming, but you still need a little instruction for what to do, when to do it, and where to do it, alright? DNAs, think of it this way. We Epigenes are the software that directs the hardware of your computer. You're a complete book, but we say which chapters to read and which ones to skip.
Why would anyone want to skip any part of my DNA?
Well, would you read an entire cookbook to learn how to bake a cake? Would you add every ingredient in the cookbook to make that cake?
Well, no.
Didn't think so.
But Tag, why do you need to alter our sequencing?
Think about it. A single fertilized egg cell just can't stay that way. It needs to split, and some of those cells need to become muscle cells. Some need to become blood vessels, you know? And some need to become neurons, and so on. You genes are the whole package. A blood vessel can't have the same phenotype as a neuron.
A pheno what?
A phenotype, you know, it means an observable characteristic or trait.
So fine, you helped us make this baby. But the baby has 10 fingers, 10 toes, everything is in place. Now it's just time for us to sequence. Thanks to heredity, the child's future is in place.
Partly. But you know what they say, you are what you eat. And breathe and experience and how you live.
What are you talking about?
Guys like me help species obtain short-term adaptation. We change just to help deal with these adverse conditions, you know? Think of identical twins. In the beginning, their DNA is exactly the same, right? However, the older they get, the more differences there are. Why is this? Well, there are many reasons, you know? Environmental chemicals, drugs, pharmaceuticals, diet, stress, and a multiple of other factors, including aging. These direct how we are programmed to affect you DNAs. We can make you skinny, fat, we can grow tumors, all kinds of things. You know, if a parent doesn't take care of themselves, they can pass along some bad traits to their kids. Now come on, big fella. I need to give you a little modification. Mom has been taking Junior out there to McDonald's every day, and I need to start making some changes for the worse. Here comes Daddy!
Ah, what are you doing? Stop, stop! What are you doing? Stop!
I feel your cell membrane trembling. What I'm trying to do is called methylation. I can activate or repress your DNA activity.
Not so. Unbelievable. How can you influence my God-given right to sequence? To direct forever the fate of my DNA mission.
Sorry, Mr. and Miss DNA. It's easy. I can upregulate you or downregulate you. I can turn you on or turn you off.
Hi, big boy. Oh, aren't you handsome?
Oh, ay, ay, ay.
That doesn't turn me on.
Hey, look at my muscles.
Ooh, Mama like you.
Okay, now I'm turned off. How do you do that, Tag?
Many ways, actually. The most common ways are to have you DNAs coil yourself around a protein, where every change in shape and angle influences what's turned off or turned on. Or I can simply attach myself to different parts of you and turn sections off by making them unreadable. Kinda like when you switch fonts in a Word document to wingdings. You know, it's not all doom and gloom, however. The exciting part about the world finally getting to know me is that it has a huge implication in the prevention and treatment of many diseases. These crazy surgeons are gonna be out of business someday.
Oh!
Enough, Mr. Epigene. Do you realize at this very moment I'm about to address the opening of International Congress 22? There are thousands of physicians, technicians, nurses, and others from many companies that expect me to talk about how endovascular technologies will change the way we treat heart and blood vessel disease in the future. No one wants to hear that the landscape of modern medicine may become obsolete someday.
Not my problem, sir.
I'm going to call on world-famous doctors to expand their groundbreaking technologies. Those Silverhawk fellows will talk about atherectomy, taking out the plaque. I suppose Dr. Amaya will even perform a live case. And then there are those who crush the plaque into the wall. 1 more stent, 10 more atmospheres. And don't let me forget the treacherous aneurysms. No more cut and sewing. Oh, the wonders of endoluminal grafting.
You guys will soon be living in the past. You won't be treating things with surgery or less invasive surgery. You're gonna be calling me. You're gonna be saying things like, "Hey, Epigene, would you please turn off that part of the gene which causes this lady's arteries to be filling up with plaque?" And I'll say, "Sure, no problem." Boom! Problem solved. Then you'll say, "Oh wait, I almost forgot. She also had a heart attack. Could you see if you could also find a way to get her cells to start growing new heart muscle? The heart attack left her with some dead tissue and it's causing her to have some heart failure." Again I says to you, "No prob, Doc. Consider it done." Bada boom! There it is. Good as new.
You can do that?
Abso-frickin-lutely.
What about getting rid of aneurysms?
Boom. Done. You know, Doc, treatment is just half of it. Most of this stuff won't even come to fruition because you will have already identified these risks by assessing people's DNA way ahead of time. You say, your genetic makeup makes you at risk for obesity? Bam! I worked my magic, and now you're skinny.
But how will doctors know which parts of me to turn on or turn off?
That's the million-dollar question, my friend. And that's what you yahoos need to start thinking about.
Well, perhaps we will. But there's one thing I already know for sure. Mr. DNA, today we learned that you are not in control of a person's destiny.
Damn right he ain't.
And you, my friend, contrary to your belief, you are not in control either.
Oh, you no good. I ought to attach myself to you and...
The person who is really in control is the person within whom you reside. Only they can decide what they eat, what they expose themselves to, and what they pass on to their own children.